Salam and good night to all community partners. We appreciate your time joining us in this Saving and Emergency Fund webinar. Saya akan terangkan flow kita malam ni. Firstly, you guys will take part in Kahoot game for us to know how far your knowledge is about our topic today. Then we will proceed to topic sharing by 5 speakers. There are 8 topic focus and there will be Q&A session at the end of the knowledge sharing and group photo. At the end of the webinar, you guys will play the Kahoot game with the same question you did earlier to test our webinar effectiveness to your knowledge.
Emergency fund.
Okay. Okay, hi and Assalamualaikum. First, I will explain about emergency fund. Emergency fund is money that has been set aside or saved to cover unexpected event in life. The purpose of the emergency fund is to increase financial security by creating a safety net that can be used to meet unexpected expenses such as unexpected medical expenses, unemployment, repair or replacement of household appliance, and major car repair. Okay, next slide. Okay, the reason why it is important to start saving in emergency fund. First, cover emergency. Emergency fund can help you cover sudden expenses such as a broken car, a broken kitchen pipe. If you do not have any saving, it will be difficult to get big amount right away in the event of a sudden emergency. Next, give you flexibility. Although saving money may sound difficult, but having an emergency fund may really allow you more financial freedom. Next, avoid getting into debt. If unexpected expenses need happen and you do not have enough cash on hand, you may need to use a credit card or take out a personal loan. So, with emergency fund, you can avoid getting into debt. Next, you are not depend on other. If one day you have some problem with financial, with an emergency fund, you can rely on your own saving to cover the gap rather than relying on other for assistance. Lastly, not having to take part investment. When you are in emergency situation, you could be tempted to dip into your investment to cover expenses. Which emergency fund, you are not having to take part in your investment to cover your expenses. Okay, next slide I will give to next presenter.
Okay, next we gonna explain about what your emergency fund is really for. Okay, there's many costs that uh, we need the emergency fund in our daily life. So some of them like medical emergencies. Okay, we know that right now we currently in pandemic COVID-19. So our medical expenditure are frequently source of surprise costs. Okay, we don't know when we're gonna sick or having an had an accident. So emergency fund is really to support us. Second, job loss. Okay, things happen quickly and unexpected, as we have seen with the latest outbreak. Okay, COVID pandemic 19, COVID 19. Yes, to stop the illness from spreading, many workers are being compelled to stay at home. The third one is pay cut. When business are struggling, they cut wages, reduce hours, or remove bonus schemes. You may be forced to choose between accepting a pay cut or getting fired. Next, unexpected travel. When one of your family is sick or has died, the last thing on your mind is how much it will cost to visit them. Next, car repairs. Anything with moving parts will ultimately break. A car, on the other hand, is a big collection of extremely expensive moving parts. Like uh, we want to change our oil brake, engine oil. So that's the cost. We need the emergency fund to support to give us advantage in the fees. Lastly, home repairs. Home repairs are usually less expensive and less time consuming than medical emergencies, but they can still unpredictable. Okay, like flood happening, disaster happen in right now in Malaysia. So many have caused the many damage caused the flood to the house. So many things our home furniture will be new one. So it gonna be costing in our daily life. So next, gonna pass to the next topic.
Okay, next I will explain how much should you have in your emergency fund. The amount needed for emergency fund varies depending on lifestyle, monthly cost, and income. There are some quick guidelines to find out the right amount for emergency fund. First, calculate your monthly expenses. Start by calculating the sum of all your monthly expenses, including loan payment, credit card bills, utilities, childcare, and other fixed responsibility. Next, determine the amount you need in reserve. You recommended to keep emergency fund for at least 3 months to 6 months out of your monthly expenses. If your monthly expenses are less than 50% of your income, we recommended saving for 3 months. And if your monthly expenses are more than 50% of your income, we recommended saving for 6 months. Lastly, determine the amount to be disposed of each month. If you choose for saving 10% of your income, it will take 48 months to a 6 month reserve. And if saving 20% of your income, it will take 24 months to accumulate a 3 month of your reserve. Okay, next slide.
Selalunya orang saving without proper plan kan. Now I will explain the proper step to start saving on emergency fund. The first step is keep a track of monthly income and expenses. Spending a worksheet on the amount of cash inflow and how much cash each month spent. Termasuk expenses yang berulang macam sewa, bil air dan elektrik dan perbelanjaan bulanan macam pakaian, makanan dan pakaian. Yang kedua, yang step 2 is to set a goal for emergency fund. Lepas you guys dah track expenses, mestilah kena set goal. An emergency fund should be sufficient to cover 6 months of sustainable living expenses. Contohnya, kalau you guys rasa your income stable, you guys boleh plan untuk lower amount of saving. Tapi in case of your debt is approaching your limit, then income estimate is uncertain, you guys kena cari cara untuk increase your saving. Step 3 is develop plan to start saving. Setting a goal and developing a strategy to achieve that goal are connect. Plan mestilah macam specific. Plan yang boleh measure to make sure you guys ada target yang nak dicapai. Contohnya you guys aim untuk save 1,000 extra in the next 6 months for an emergency funds. Then step 4 is make emergency fund easily accessible. The fund should be deposited in a liquid account with easy access to cash. Liquid account ni macam maksudnya ada account simpanan konvensional yang bolehkan you guys keluarkan duit pada bila-bila masa tanpa penalti. The last step is stick to the plan. Ini step yang paling important sekali. Sticking to the plan will be a lot easier if the individual goal are reasonable and reachable. A good way to start on track is to save automatic. Set up request transfer from saving account at the bank. Guna saving account yang berasingan dan tetapkan in your mindset untuk guna duit tu untuk emergency purpose only. With these 5 easy steps, you guys are on the right track. Next.
Ambillah aku bisa tengok. Oh, bukan.
Next, I will continue to explain about why you should not spend on your emergency fund. Never know what will last will throw at you, but by putting money aside for an emergency fund, you can at least be financially prepared to deal with the unexpected. 3 to 6 months worth of expenses should be set aside as a spread account from your regular saving. For the most part, you can only your emergency fund. It is absolutely necessary, such as in case of actual emergency. For the first part is periodic peak and expected expenses. When planning your monthly budget, do not even forget to account for any upcoming quarterly, semi-annually, or annual bill. For example, in terms of go to holiday or birthday gift. Next, in terms of non-essential spending, when taking money out of your emergency fund, you should always ask yourself if the money is going to something that is absolutely necessary for your survival. However, urgent the need, you are unable to use your emergency fund to cover expenses as a phone upgrade or wardrobe upgrade. And lastly, in large financial goal, you won't be able to cover a rainy day if you use all your emergency saving to pay for one-time expenses. For example, if you want to buy a house or a car, you should not use your emergency fund to cover this cost. Next,
Okay, ni part aku pula untuk present. Okay, so topic 6, when should you use your emergency fund? Basically, it is difficult to determine when an emergency fund should be used. Macam kita tak boleh nak jangka bila patutnya kita pakai emergency fund tu lepas kita dah kumpul duit tu. Contoh lah, kita ada duit, lepas tu kita pergi makan sarapan, RM13 kena bayar. Lepas tu petang tu pula kita lepak-lepak, lepas tu main ML, beli skin. Lepas tu kalah. Lepas kalah, lepas tu kita koyak, kita tengok dompet ada RM30. Lepas tu cuba fikir, patut tak masa tu kita pakai emergency fund kita untuk makan. Ataupun situasi sebelum lepas tu, kedua macam kita bawa duit RM10, lepas tu kita makan kat Mas. Kita dah makan mewah kat situ, lepas tu kita lapar lagi, kita nak makan wafer dekat Grand. Lepas tu kita tak ada duit. Kita ada duit macam RM20, RM30 untuk emergency fund sebelum kita minta kat parent kita duit. So macam lebih kurang situasi lebih kurang gitulah. So but a person with good financial planning will know when to use their emergency saving. Okay, next. There's three ways to determine this situation. Number one, ask yourself, does the situation is unexpected? Macam benda tu berlaku secara mengejut, macam person losing their job, macam receive lower paycheck, lepas tu COVID macam 2019-20 tu, lepas tu baru-baru ni flash flood dekat Shah Alam. Benda tu semua benda yang kita tak jangka benda boleh jadi. So kita macam boleh lah nak guna emergency fund kita bila duit kita tak ada untuk beli kita punya essential item macam barang dapur, lepas tu ada produk yang lain. Next, nombor tu. Ask yourself, is it a necessary situation to use the fund? Macam patut tak kita pakai duit kita tu untuk beli barang-barang yang necessary, macam situation yang contoh unexpected medical bill. Macam benda ni pakai duit yang banyak, lepas tu operation ke ataupun loss of dependable transportation. Macam kereta macam ada banyak kegunaan penting dia. Macam kadang-kadang kita ada yang buat kereta untuk buat duit lebih, macam nak buat sapu ke. Lepas tu macam ada lah, macam kalau hantar mak ke yang sakit ke, boleh lah, tu lah kegunaan penting kadang transportation ni. So condition ni macam a person need to use the emergency fund. Kalau macam libatkan macam benda macam nak beli vaksin, pergi makan RM50 ke, macam pergi ikan bakar, macam itu situasi yang tak patut lah untuk kita guna untuk emergency fund. Okay, next. Number 3. Ask yourself, does the situation require an urgent solution? Macam is the situation deemed critical enough to necessitate the use of emergency fund? Contoh, broken bridge. Macam peti ais ni banyak kegunaan dia. Macam kita simpan makanan harian kita guna macam barang dapur, banyak kita pakai peti ais. So memang patutlah kita pakai emergency fund untuk repair balik peti ais ni. Tak pun pintu rumah rosak. Lepas tu kita masa tu tak ada duit. Kalau pencuri masuk macam mana? Pisang. Nak tidur pun tak boleh. So these two situation ni lebih kurang macam boleh lah kita pakai emergency fund kita. Macam auto and home repair ni kadang-kadang dia tak expensive, tak long lasting macam medical emergency. Medical emergency ni macam dia berlangsungan berbulan-bulan. Kalau home repair ni macam one time payment je. So memang boleh lah untuk kita pakai emergency fund tu. So that's it. This situation you can use to determine the usage of emergency fund. Next.
Okay, next is about where should you keep your emergency fund. The thing that you need to consider is, firstly is account must be easily accessible, able to grow up, and low risk account. Next, this account for which high yield saving account, flexible fixed debit deposit account, and low risk investment account are used under CIMB. I give a CIMB account for example. So for the high yield saving account, this is saving account that provide you with the flexibility to make withdrawal and transaction whenever it is convenient for you. If you are looking to compare the various saving account available in Malaysia, comparison website like Ringgit Plus and iMoney are great resources. New CIMB preferred saving account which help you to get bonus point every month and be eligible for special preferred privilege. You can also get an additional annual interest rate of up to 1.75, which is among the market most competitive rate. Second is interim flexible fixed deposit account. The term deposit, fixed deposit refer to a type of bank that assure you, the investor, of a fixed interest or profit rate if you keep your money in the account for an agreed period of time, usually 1 year. If you withdraw money before that time, which is 1 year, usually you cannot get your dividend. For example, CIMB unfixed deposit can make withdrawal in multiple of 1,000 while still getting the interest rate. Choose your maturity period 1 to 60 months as well as the applicable interest and profit rate. And lastly, in terms of low risk investment account, if you want to invest in the stock market, look for a low risk investment. They are simple to withdraw or top up, such as Amanah Saham Nasional Berhad or money market fund provided by the bank or robo-advisor. For example, CIMB term investment account offer low risk investment option as an alternative investment strategy not to covered by the TAR. It's a goal to provide investor with long-term predictable return while also protection their principal. According to CIMB, investors who withdraw their fund before the maturity are entitled to 50% of the profit they made so far. Next.
Okay, how to rebuild your emergency fund after you use it. First, is critical kita ada backup plan. Setiap kali kita dah withdraw duit tu, lepas tu tahu cara nak rebuild balik emergency fund. Second, revisit your budget to supplement your emergency fund. Next. Then try to prioritize emergency fund in financial planning. So basically put other financial obligation on hold because emergency fund ni it can assist you in avoiding further debt and unexpected costs, and try to rework all of your budgeting too. Okay. And secondly, look for way to increase your income because increasing your income is one of the simpler way to rebuild back your emergency fund. But it not feasible for everyone. Macam tak semua orang ada kehendak untuk melakukan side job kerja lebihan macam. But one way to increase your income back is become a food panda or become a Grab food rider. Or lastly, you can also become an agent of selling product. And finally, try to review back your budget and make necessary cut. Macam at least once a month, try to see if ada overspending tak berlaku. Macam try tengok balik kalau ada tak benda yang patut kita beli, tak patut kita beli ke semua tu. Lepas tu try to also tracking your spending also. It to ensure that your budget is always on track and to aware of your saving and revenue. Basically, review your budget ni help you to cut any unnecessary spending and ensure yang you always have good financial planning.
So, as we know that emergency fund have a lot of pros, but do they have any disadvantages too?
Okay. Yes, it has pros and cons. Like by contributing to an emergency fund, okay, you reduce the possibility of allocating extra income to other plans, such as retirement saving or mortgage repayment. As a result, emergency fund lower the likelihood of achieving other financial objectives. Yeah. Is it answer the question?
Yes, thank you, Hadi.
Hi, I want to ask that what is the quickest way to quickly save for emergency funds?
Okay, begin by keeping your track of your expenses using a spreadsheet. You boleh guna yang paling mudah sekali, you boleh guna untuk install app. Sekarang kan dah banyak apps yang kita track guna expenses. So dia lagi senang. You akan lebih cepat faham your monthly cash flow dengan cepat. So you can set a realistic emergency saving goal. Yang paling penting sekali, you set up auto deposit to your saving account. Cash flow ni akan jadi macam painless, macam kita tak nampak pun sebab dia auto kan. So dia macam jadi invisible and ensure that you go over budget in the month. Kalau macam seksa pun, expenditure yang seksa daripada saving you sendiri. Jawab tak soalan you?
Yes, I faham. Thank you.
Okay, hi. Dengar tak?
Dengar.
Okay. I want to ask you about your opinion. When should I stop putting my money in an emergency fund?
Okay, I will answer your question. When the size of your emergency fund will vary depending on your lifestyle, monthly spending, income and family. The general rule is to save up to 6 months worth of expenses. Did I answer your question?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank
next.
you.
Okay, welcome.
Is there any other question?
Hello, I want to ask, is it insurance is considered as an emergency fund?
Insurance basically is two different things. Insurance dia punya objektif selalunya to give protection in form of cash of settlement if something bad happen to you or family. But unlike emergency fund, which you may access whenever you need it, insurance contain limitation for specific emergency. So basically different. No.
Okay, thank you. Menjawab.
Assalamualaikum.
Salam.
Okay, nampak?
Assalamualaikum.
Nak tanya soalan lagi.
Silakan.
Should I keep my emergency fund in stock?
Okay, I will answer to your question. No, you should not keep your emergency fund in stock because stock are volatile and risky. Most financial experts advise against investing your emergency fund in the stock market. It will be unfortunate if you have to sell an investment at a loss to access your emergency fund. So it should not be.